housekeeping to go through before we get started with our first talk of the day. I'd like to start with an acknowledgement of country. PyCon AU 2025 is held on the lands of the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nation. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present. Welcome to PyCon AU. My name is Genevieve. I'm one of the scientific Python specialist track organisers, and I am so thrilled to see so many of you here today. So some of us feel more comfortable and safe around other people wearing masks. For that reason, we've dedicated seating at the front left of every room for this purpose. So if you're sitting in that spot, just pop a mask on. And we thank you very much for your consideration. We have a code of conduct and we mean it. We all deserve to feel safe, comfortable and welcome at the conference. If at any time during the conference you feel unsafe or want to report questionable behaviour, please contact a member of the safety team. You can do that on this phone number, email, and all of this information is available on the PyCon website. This map is printed on the back of your badge. You're in ballroom 2 at the moment, shown in red on the screen. The main foyer, shown in grey, is where you go for almost everything else. That's food, registration desk, to talk to the exhibitors. You can see the toilets marked here. And if you're a speaker, we have an AV room set up for you to test your presentation before you arrive in the ballroom. We have a couple of things that we try not to do here. We don't trash talk other communities. Whether that's programming languages or other groups, we're just not the sort of community that acts like we're better than other languages. We also don't assume that people aren't technical if they don't look, sound, or act like the programmer stereotype. We don't make jokes at the expense of others, because punching down just isn't funny. And if you see stuff like this happening anywhere at the conference, look, most people are kind people that want to be part of a good community, so it can be worth gently but kindly giving them a reminder. And one good way to do that is right here on the slide. You can just say, hey, look, we don't do that here. We also like our in-jokes a lot at PyCon Australia, but we don't want anyone to feel left out, so we have a culture page on our website that goes through a few of the best ones. If you think there's some jargon or an in-joke that you don't understand and that should be added to this list, we take suggestions through the form of GitHub issues. The bathrooms. So on level 1, today on Friday, we are sharing this space with another event. So the bathrooms on level 1 will remain gendered. If you'd like an accessible non-gendered bathroom, you can find that down on the ground level near the reception. On Saturday and Sunday, all bathrooms on level 1 will be non-gendered and marked according to the facilities within them, like the examples on these slides. Also in the bathroom, we have baskets full of toiletries, things that you might need. Please take some, leave some for others, and if you notice that items need restocking, let a volunteer know. Conference Wi-Fi. I'll let you have like 30 seconds to take a picture of this slide. Click the link. Wi-Fi for the conference is PyCon AU 25, and the passphrase for that is all caps PyCon AU 25 exclamation mark. Give you one more second to do that before we move on, because I really want to tell you about the attendee Discord. Details for joining this are in your email. It's really important that you sign up for that as soon as possible. Not just because we want you to interact with other conference attendees, but we also might be pushing out important announcements and updates through those channels. You don't want to miss out. We also have communication stickers available at the registration desk. They are different colours and shapes depending on different people's preferences. If you see a green circle, that means that person is open and available for chatting. If you see a yellow triangle, that means maybe you should just give them a quick heads up first and ask if they're open for a chat. And if you see a red octagon, that means that maybe you should please let that person initiate chats with other people. If you're not sure, just ask, and the stickers are reusable, so you can switch them out at different points through the day, depending on your preferences and energy levels. So please respect other people's preferences. We want this conference to be welcoming and inclusive, so we like that people bear in mind the Pac-Man rule when you're chatting outside. And that means that when you're having a great conversation with some other people that you've met at PyCon, and you're trying to all bunch in together to hear that conversation. In that circle, please make sure that there's an open, empty space. And that's so that when somebody else comes up and wants to join your conversation, they can do that in that empty space. And then you just shuffle over and make another empty space for the next person to come and join your conversation. Always be welcoming. And in line with that, we also like to use the snowball rule. This is a fun challenge that it would be great if people could try and test themselves with. And what this is just a challenge to try and every day meet as many new people at PyCon AU as the number of PyCon Australias that you've been to. So if you've been to 3 PyCons before, try and meet 3 new people every day. Another great way to meet new people is at Birds of a Feather sessions. These are small, self-organised, organic sessions where you can decide that you want to have a chat with other people who are interested in functional programming, queerness, crochet, running, anything like that. And you can advertise your idea on the whiteboard outside in the foyer and on the Discord channel, ideally both. And if other people see that and like, hey, yeah, I really want to talk about that too, you can make a time either in the breaks, lunch times, or before and after the conference to all get together and have a bit of a chat. Lost and found. If you see something someone has lost, let a volunteer know or take it to the registration desk. If you lost something, go see the registration desk and see if it's been found. If you've ordered a t-shirt, you can pick that up from lunchtime onwards at the registration desk. And if you need a size swap for that t-shirt, you can do that from afternoon tea onwards. Our sponsors. This is the most important part of the conference, really. We could not run this conference at all without the kind and generous financial support of our sponsors. We do this year on year with discounted ticket, with financial aid programs for speakers and people who couldn't otherwise afford to attend the conference, and with student discounts. These sponsors are really what make PyCon Australia run. Thank you so, so much for your generous support. Our platinum sponsor this year is Valkey. You can find them in the exhibitor area this year, so please go and say hi. Our gold sponsors are Snowflake and the Python Software Foundation. Snowflake is also going to be around in the exhibitor area. And our sponsors, Google, Elastic, AWS, Planet Innovation, Kraken, and Electron Workshop, thank you. And finally, we could not run this conference without both the logistical and financial support of Linux Australia. The Monday workshops are sold out, so if you have a ticket and can't make it anymore, please see the registration desk so they can release that to somebody on the waiting list. If you'd like to be added to the waiting list, see the rego desk as well. We have jobs board in physical and digital spaces. There's a whiteboard outside in the foyer with one side for jobs being advertised, maybe your company is hiring, and another side if you are looking for work and want to pitch your skills. That's also true in the job board Discord channel. Speakers, if you are speaking, please, in the meal break before your talk, please check into the room you're speaking in and then stay there until your talk. That is not the quick 5-minute changeover between speakers, that is the meal break before. So if you are speaking, say, just before afternoon tea, that means at lunchtime we need you in the room you're speaking at, and then you are going to stay there for the 2 talks before yours, and then your talk. Thank you. It panics us so much less when we know you're in the room. And finally, a big welcome to the Scientific Python Specialist track. That'll be running all day today in Ballroom 2, right here. As I said, I'm Genevieve. I'm one of the organisers of this specialist track. The others are Kai Striega, Joe Basevi, and Charles Turner. You'll see us all at different points through today. Now, this track is for anyone using Python for scientific computing, be it data analysis, engineering, academic research, modelling systems, machine learning, or just generally hacking together new tools to extract insight. We have such a fantastic lineup planned for you today with a really wide variety of topics and speakers I'm sure you're going to get a lot out of. I am thrilled to introduce them today.